Hi everyone, welcome back to Salesforce Velocity course. In this video, we are going to talk about Transform DataRaptors. In our previous sessions, we already learned about Turbo Extract Data Raptors, and Load Data Raptors. All right. So let's just start with Transform DataRaptors. And before we actually jump on to some examples, let's just revise that what a Transform Data Raptor is and what and all it can do. Okay. So for example, I mean the basic thing that it does is that it transforms the data. Okay, so you can say that it performs immediate data transformation. I just want to list out what and all it does. Okay, data transformation without reading from Salesforce or writing to Salesforce. Okay, so this is the basic thing that it does. Okay, the second thing is that it also supports formulas. Okay, supports formula. And the other thing that it does is that it can also convert JSON to XML and vice versa. Okay. All right. And the other thing is that it also helps in restructuring the input data, and also you can rename fields. Okay. So restructure input data and rename fields. Okay. And one of the other thing is that it also converts data to PDF, DocuSign, and few other document template formats. Okay, so you can say that convert data to PDF, and what was the other thing? DocuSign, and few date document template formats. Okay, so document template formats. So in this video we are not going to cover each and everything over here. Okay, but I just want to show you that how you can get started with Transform Data Raptors with very basic simple scenarios. Okay, nothing very highly complicated. So I would be just taking few scenarios where I would be showing you some of the examples of these immediate data transformations that it can do, and then how we can use formulas, and how we can basically restructure input data and rename fields. This part I'm not going to cover here, maybe in some other session, but let's just go ahead and cover few of the scenarios, which includes explaining how it does immediate data transformation, and how you can restructure input data and rename fields. Okay, and how you can use formulas. All right, so I'll navigate to my CMT org, and let's just go back to Omnistudio Data Raptors. I'll go ahead and create a new data raptor. So let's just name it as dr transform example 1. Okay. And here we are going to use transform. Input output would be JSON, and then click on save. And you know what? Don't worry if you don't understand anything here, but once you see the output, right, you will get a clear picture of what we are doing here. All right. We are just basically going to provide input and the output. So basically I am just going to try and transform my data the way I want to transform it. Okay, so here you can see different tabs. We have formulas, we have transforms, options, and preview. Okay, so in this particular scenario I'm not going to add a formula. In the next scenario that I will be doing after this one, we'll add a formula. So this one, let's just go ahead and try a simple transformation. Okay, so in transform, let's just add one field here in the input JSON. Okay, I'm going to give a field for let's say contact name. Okay, and I want to transform it under something as personal details. Okay, or let's just say details. All right, details, and in details name, right? So this will be my input, but then in the output it should come under details. Okay, just keep on checking the JSON, you'll understand. Okay, let's just add one more field. Okay, so here contact, I gave name, right? Let's just give phone, maybe phone. Okay, and then here details and phone. Okay, so if you see here, this is my input JSON path. Okay, contact name and phone, and the output JSON is something that I want something like this, that it should show me the output like this, right, in this structure. Okay, details, and under details I should have phone and name. All right, Now let's just go ahead and that is why I have given the output JSON as like this, okay? Details colon name, details colon phone. All right, now let's just go to preview, and here we would have to, of course, give the structure, okay? So let me copy something and then I will just edit that, okay? So we have here, um, so first name, last name, phone. Here I've only given name. I've given name, phone, and what are the fields? Name and phone, right? So let's go back to preview, name, and let's remove this one and phone, okay? And here, let me give the name as uh, anything, right? For example, David. And let's just execute this. So when I execute this, the output, okay? And one more thing, okay? The structure for this is actually, if you see the structure, right? I have given it under contact name, contact phone. So the structure is not precisely what I have in what I have given in the input, because in the input the way I have given this means that I am defining a parent node of contact, right? But here I did not keep any parent node. So let's just keep the parent node as well, okay? So let me, and here I will give contact. This is the parent node that I gave here, right? In the fields, parent node. This is for the output, right? But for the input, this is what I have given, right? So I have to provide the same way, in the preview input, right? The way I have defined here. So for contact name and phone, okay, let's just try and execute this. So here you can see, right? So this was my input, the way I provided input, and the way I was expecting the output, it is giving me the output in a similar fashion. Okay, so if you go and check out the transform again, details and then name, details and then phone. Okay, and that is how it is giving me the output. All right. So this is a very simple example of data transformation. Now let's just see for example, let's just include few more field. Okay, I'll go back to the transform. In the scenario 2 we are going to use data output, basically an additional field, and in that additional field I'm going to use let's say contact dating, okay? And then here in the details, right, details colon rating, okay? And then in the output data type, I want to define that I want to make this rating as conditional, okay? So here I will select the data type as Boolean, okay? And then here I want to give if let's say if the rating is medium, then it should show me true. Otherwise, it should show me false, okay? So I just took one more variable element, and for that variable I am just basically deciding based on the value that it will hold, okay? So let me do this. So now there are three fields now, okay? Contact rating and details rating, but this is based on some condition, okay? Now let's just go to preview, and here I will add one more element, which is the rating, right? The one that we have defined. So rating, and here let me give it as cold, okay? And execute this. So it is giving me false, right? When will it give me true? When the rating is medium, right? That is what I have defined in the condition. When the rating is medium, then only give me the value as true. Okay, so let's just go here and change this to medium. Okay, and here you can see, right, the rating has come as true. Okay, so basically when you are transforming the data, right, these are the some kind of things that you can do on the run, right, while transforming the data. I mean, you can apply some conditions and stuff like this. So this was scenario 2. Let's just go ahead and check scenario 3. I'm just going to include a formula field as part of scenario 3. Okay, so here I have this phone number, right? Let's say I want to append some country code. Okay, so for that, I'm going to create a formula. So let's go to formula and add, and I want to append some country code. Okay, so here I will, hold on, I just need to copy something. So here, let's say plus 34, this is my country code. And here I want to append this to which field? Phone field, right? Contact phone. So here, if you see, I have this as contact colon phone. Okay. So here, contact colon phone. Okay. So whatever we have as the phone number, it is going to append this country code. Okay. And then I have to store the output of this formula inside some variable. Okay. So let me take some variable as phone number. Okay. Now I have the output under this variable. So once you have the output under this variable, this is what you should be passing, right? In your transform. So I'll go here and in the contact phone, uh, phone number, right? This is the variable that we just created there. All right. So here you can see, okay, we'll check that out in the preview, right? If it is appending the country name or not. So once again, okay, we have created the formula and we have used the field, okay, from the input JSON path. And then we are storing the result in in this formula result path inside a variable. And then you have to use this variable in the input JSON path, okay? So the input JSON path is this, right? And that is where you have to um, keep the output of that formula field, right? The variable name. Now let's just go to preview and check this out. Let me execute it again. It should append a country code over here. Here you can see, right? It appended a country code. All right. Now let's just check out another scenario where we will be fetching data from different objects and we are going to show all the data into into one single encapsulated object in the JSON. Okay. So for example, I will be fetching the data from let's say I will have the data from account, contact, lead. Okay. But in my JSON, I am going to display everything under one object. All right. Under one object. It will not have different modes or different nodes. All right. So let's just go ahead and check out this scenario. So here, let's just create another data raptor for that. So dr transform example 2. Okay. And here transform JSON and save. All right. So let's just go to transforms. And as we have thought, right? So let's just include some fields for account, some for contact, and some for lead. Okay. So I'll go here and I will start adding the fields. Okay. So here in the input JSON path, I'm going to give the name as account colon name. Okay. And then here now you have to think about it, okay, because I want to display everything into one single object in the JSON. Okay, so I have to give one parent, same parent node for these fields, for the fields from this and for the fields from this. Okay, that is going to be my output, right? So whatever it is, right, let's say details, and then everything that I'm going to keep encapsulated inside this, but then this is the parent node, right? And if I want all the information for account, contact, and lead under one single node, then this is how I have to create the output structure, right? So whatever output JSON path I'm giving, I'm going to append some kind of name, some kind of like details or info or something like that. Okay. So let's just go ahead and see that. So in the input JSON path, I gave account dot name, as in I'm going to provide account name, but in the output JSON path, I'm just going to give let's just call it not details, let's just call it all information. Okay, something like this. And under all information, I want to store account name. Okay, so this is the first field. Now let's just go ahead and add one more field from account. Okay, so account phone. Okay, and here what was the name that we gave? All information, and then colon and phone, right? And all right, and let's just go ahead and add. We have added two fields from account. Let's just start adding fields from contact. Okay, so contact, first name, and here in the output JSON path, okay, I would have to again, right? Same parent node, right? So all information, first, first name, okay? Here I think let's just, as this is very, sorry, it's case sensitive, so I'll just be careful about like, how I'm giving the names. Uh, all right, okay. Then from contact, let's just also give last name, okay? So contact, last name, and then here all information, last name, okay? And then I want to give few information from lead. I don't remember what are the fields that are there on the lead object. Let me just quickly check. I just don't want to give some like, random, like very random fields. I just want to check like, something that makes sense and is available. So lead, we can give email, right? From lead, we can give email and we can also give industry. So email and industry. So from lead, let's just add, okay. So lead, then email, and then here, again, this will also go under the same parent node, okay? Information, email, all right? Then the other field that we wanted to include from lead was industry. So lead, industry, and then here, mm, yeah, all information, same parent node, okay? All information and industry, all right? Let's just give one more field name for lead here as maybe lead name. Okay, so again, same parent node. Okay, this was we are supposed to give this one here in the input. Output was all information, right? So all information and name. All right. So now, if you see in the output, because I want to keep everything inside one object in the JSON, right? Encapsulated under one parent node. So that is why I've given that parent node column and then all the field names, like respective field names. But if you see here, these two are coming from account, these two will be coming from contact, and these three will be coming from lead, right? So now let's just go ahead and create the input JSON for the preview. Okay. So here, all right, so let me copy a normal structure and okay, so what and all do we have? We have account, name, phone, name and phone. Okay, so account, name and phone. So I'm going to give this one as account, okay? And what do we have from account? Name and phone. So let me first copy this, okay, for contact. So here I just have name and phone. Name and phone, and account name, let's just give Transform DR1. Okay, this is the account name I gave, and here let's just give, so on account there are two fields, right? Name and phone, and then for contact, first name, last name. That's it, right? First name and last name. So for contact, first name and last name. And let me copy this again for lead. Okay, so here on contact, first name, last name, I'll remove the phone because we have not mapped it, right? First name and last names. For lead, email, industry, and name. Okay, email, industry, and name. So lead, email, industry, and name. Okay, so in email, let's just give it at test@gmail.com. Okay, industry, just anything. And then in the name, let's say Robert. All right. So if you see the structure, right, the input structure, I've given the input structure the way I have defined the input JSON path, right? That account will have these two values, key values. Contact will have these two. Email will have these three. Sorry, lead will have these three, right? So account has account and phone. Contact has first name, last name, and lead has these information. But how do I want the output? I want the output to be displayed like this under this tag, right? Under this parent node, all information, and then everything should be displayed inside this. And one more thing, it is displaying the name, but it is not displaying the lead name for some reason. Um, let's just remove it. I'm not sure why. Maybe it gets auto created or something like that. Okay, so I will just remove that for now. All right. Okay. So two fields from account, two fields from contact, and two from lead. And so six fields, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have all the six fields over here and it should be displayed in this structure. Let's just go ahead and execute this. So here it is, right? Industry is coming from lead, email is coming from lead, last name, first name is coming from contact tag, and then name is coming from account tag, and then phone is also coming from account tag, right? So this is how you can transform data, like if you have data, JSON data for multiple objects, so you can wrap it inside one. Okay. So I think it's pretty easy. The only thing you have to do is that you have to keep in mind about the node that you're giving, right? So if you, even if you have data from different objects in the input, then you can keep it under one node and you can map the values accordingly. Okay. So this these three, or I think four, whatever scenarios we discussed, these are the only things that I wanted to discuss in this scenario. But for other examples, for example, this one, right, convert data to PDF, DocuSign, and these things, maybe I'll be covering these stuff in future sessions. But for now, I think you should be comfortable enough to start practicing Transform Data Raptors. So at least just practice the scenarios that we discussed in this session, okay? So that you'll, once you get on to these topics or any more complex scenarios, you'll be at least comfortable getting started with this. All right. So that's all for today. That's all for this session. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.